What it do, people? It's your boy Dre Day every day. And today I'm back with my fifth entry in my artist analysis series, which will also round out my top 5 all-time favorite rappers, and that is Nasir Jones. Now, I've mentioned in a few of my previous videos that, I was actually late to rap music, and my listening ear showed up in 1996. And right there waiting for me in 96 was the likes of Tupac, Nas, Do or Die, and Bone Thugs and Harmony. So Nas is one of my front running rappers next to Tupac that helped me fall in love with this thing called hip hop and possibly shaped a lot of what I attach to today. So in 96, I would have turned 14 that year in October. I remember getting It Was Written for my birthday off the strength of the if I Rule the World record being on the radio. Like, I loved that song a lot. I liked Street Dreams too, but If I Rule the World is like what really got me and what made me say I had to have this album. That coupled with when I got and saw the picture on the front, the adolescent face with the city in the background, something about that, getting that album at that time, that picture resonated with me for some reason. It was like when I picked it up, it was like, yeah, I'm going home with this. And then I took this album home and I completely fell in love with it. Now, mind you, I absolutely had no idea that It Was Written was a such thing at the time because, like I said, I'm fresh to hip hop, and my listening to music in 96, and this is the stuff that was playing. So yeah, I was completely oblivious to It Was Written. I didn't even know It Was Written was an album for years. So, but anyway, the thing about Nas is like a mixture of G. He's kind of like a blend of G-rap style, Rakim's mind, and sprinkling a little slick Rick with his storytelling and imagination. Because Nas, if you ask me, if you do away with all of the tricks that the rappers like to do with the word plays and the double entendres, I think Nas would possibly would be the absolute best rapper of all time. I mean, I don't want to just glue him there it's just so many other great rappers. I feel the same way about Lupe, but Lupe does a lot of the tricks. Nas really doesn't. Nas really just kind of hangs his hat on his storytelling and his style, and it's like he's been consistent over the years. And thinking about it, with the almost he's almost had like 2 or 3 second wins with his 90s run. Then my personal favorite is his run through the 2000s, and then he was pretty low. He was pretty low key in the 2010s, but then he came with 2020 with King's Disease, and he's rapping like he's still hungry. King's Disease 1, King's Disease 2, and then dropping Magic, and it's like, what's so what's wrong with this dude? And Nas still to this day still has all of the. He's still a top rapper today, and Nas raps with a situational awareness that it's like he pays attention to everything. You can hear it in his raps. He pays attention to everything that's happening around him. And like, from the outside looking in, his personality is like mild mannered, but the way he raps is like, even if it's possibly happening behind his back, he knows what's going on. He's like an all-seeing eye. So basically coming through Nas's career, having it was written and loving that, and then immediately after it was the I Am and the Nostradamus. Now I really like the I Am album. It it's it's Nas kind of in his commercial bag a little bit, and then Nostradamus. I'm not the biggest fan of that album, but this album is not trash by any means. It's just it's not up to standard. It would be like the kind of like the same thing I said with Lupe and Lasers. You take that album out of somebody, take it, put Nostradamus in a trap rapper's catalog, and it's probably gonna be his best album lyrically. So, and I got a funny story about this. At the time when Nostradamus came out, I was not a fan of. Well, I like Take Me Now, but I was not a fan of the You Owe Me. So, and I kind of got mad at Nas, and I put the record down. And around that time, I think Jay-Z had kind of hit the radar for hit my radar because I missed Reasonable Doubt in '96, but I did get wind of Hard Knock Life, and he got me with the Timberland record. Timberland's my all-time favorite producer. I might do producer analysis, I don't know, but anyway, he got me with the Timberland record. The what is that song that's on the Hard Knock Life with Jazzo? That record right there really got me. And coming into the early 2000s, in 2001, then I was off Blueprint. I was thinking, oh shit, Jay-Z's about to destroy Nas. Especially when he dissed him, I was thinking Jay-Z going to destroy Nas because Nas was kind of like, I felt like he, with the coming off the You Owe Me, I was like, I didn't know what was going to be next. And after Blueprint dropped, he put out the Stillmatic record. And Stillmatic is my second favorite Nas album to this day. And yeah, Stillmatic, you got the Got Yourself a Gun. You got the Ether record. You got the One Mic. And One Mic is actually my favorite Nas radio record, personally. One Mic, Second Childhood, Destroying Rebuild, man, Stillmatic is just so hard to me. But the way Nas is able to paint a picture, oh, You're the Man is one of my favorite records on there. Like almost everything on Stillmatic is perfect. And with these with that record, I was like, man, I definitely was tripping thinking that Jay was about to just squash Nas out. But yeah, and then following up, Stillmatic, he put out Godson, which is my personal favorite Nas album of all time. And that album has all of the, it has like everything. It checks all the boxes of what I like from a rapper when he puts out an album and him to be in his creativity bag. He has the concept records, he has the story records, he has the dance, the record to his mom, the Mastermind. It's my favorite song, it's my favorite Nas song, period. And it's a type of beat that Nas typically don't seem like he would jump on, but he just absolutely killed that. Then the Godson that I got, it came with an extra disc with the 3 records that had, let's see what the Thugs Mirror Freestyle, Pussy Kills, and the G.O.D. Pussy Kills is one of my favorite Nas, like just talking about the type of women that men run into on a daily basis, and then making a story at the end. This is a perfect example of like Nas being able to tell a story with suspense and surprises and stuff like that. Like, I just think that his pen is at full display when you listen to Godson. Another thing I like to throw out there is like a lot of people do hold hail Nas as one of the greatest rappers we've ever had, and they tend to say this off the strength of Illmatic. Now, me personally, I don't have an issue with Illmatic, but for me, as a rap fan and a listener of Nas and been a fan of Nas, listening to how his pen has elevated, I think that it is a complete disservice to his style, his pen, how he has raised the bar on lyricism through the 2000s and even into today, to just hard cap him at saying, "Oh, his best material is Illmatic." I mean, I don't know how to look at it. Like I said, me, I'm 39, so I'm in the crowd of the people who feel like this, but I've just, and not only, like I said, maybe because my ear came online later, that I don't view rap with the same way others do. But I just feel like it's almost disrespectful of Nas's entire career to say that Illmatic was his best record and he never topped it. I mean, almost as if he's a one-hit wonder or something. So, but yes, for me, my favorite, and I'm also at a dilemma when I went through and replayed all my Nas records in preparation for this video. My favorite album is Godson, but my favorite Nas rapping is Life is Good. Now, Life is Good came out in 2012 after he had the divorce, and I remember listening to the first three tracks, listening to the intro track, the locomotives, and then that Queen, when the Queen story came on, and I'm just listening to it, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like with Life is Good, it seemed like whatever whatever uh he was upset about with his divorce and that whole breakup process, he just poured all of that into the CD. And I'm not just talking about the lyrics, I'm talking about rapping with his chest. Because for me, that rapping with emotion and intensity, he had, his style is his style. He's gonna always, whenever you pick up some Nas, you're gonna catch on to like how he likes to do his acceleration, his syllables and his stories. But Life is Good, he was rapping that with his whole chest. You know, thing that I love Tupac for. But Nas rap Life is Good, at least the first, like, what is it, 8 songs. But I think when you get the Summer on Smash, that's kind of when he backed up off the gas. But the front half of that album, he was rapping that shit with his whole chest. So my favorite rapping is on Life is Good, but my favorite album with like the entree, the sides, and a dessert, that would be Godson, based on just everything that he did within that album, the subject matter, and just everything combined. It's my favorite Nas album. And let me see. Oh, back in 2008, when he wanted to put out that album called Nigger, but he ended up having to just call it Untitled. That's another one of my favorite Nas albums. As a matter of fact, my 5 favorite Nas albums are Godson #1, but put Life is Good kind of next to it with a with a hyphen. I know I cheated, but I don't care. This is my list. #2 is Stillmatic. #3 is King's Disease. #4 is the Untitled or the Nigger album from 2008. and number 5 for me is It Was Written. Not and Nas. I love the Lost Tapes 2. I actually like Lost Tapes 2 better than Lost Tapes 1. But the thing about Lost Tapes 2, I like the track songs as a whole, but there are a few songs on the Lost Tapes 1 that I like the potency of individual songs more than the totality of Lost Tape 2. But there are some songs on the first Lost Tape that I could completely do without. So, and for me, that's kind of another way I look at albums, how I like them. If I have to like more of the album than dislike before I say, okay, I like this. But it's like, hey, if I got one record, let's say I got one album that has 10 songs, and I like 3 songs, and I like them 3 songs a whole lot, versus getting another album where it's 10 songs, and I like 9 songs. I don't like them as much as I like the 3 songs on the other project, but from a track to track, it's more pleasant from track to track on the 9 record album. That's going to be the album that I like better. That's my approach to albums. I don't know if there's a different philosophy where people feel like the song, if they got 2 songs with a stronger potency that they'll play 50 times over playing this album maybe 10 times and putting it down. But me, I just kind of grade it based on the metric of how much of this project I like. So that's kind of my thing with my gradings. So, but yeah, man, Nas has just some of the greatest stories. He has some of the most urgent, important music messaging points in his albums. Like I said, and you can go through my top 5 to find those records that I'm speaking to. He's always speaking about something relevant. He has moments where he likes to experiment, and I'm not the biggest fan of, I would say, Nas when he's experimenting, because he's more of a black and white rapper to me than like a colorful rapper. He's more of a rapper than an artist. Nas would fall into that category of the rapper who I would just want him to do the verses and have an R&B singer or someone else come through and do the hook. Because Nas, that if I would say Nas has a weak point, it would be like his songwriting and writing his hooks. He has serviceable hooks, but that's definitely not his strong point. Um, yeah, but and another thing I want to bring up, Street's Disciple, that double disc, because I've had debates with people, and some people have said this album is trash, and I do not agree. Street's Disciple, that's another record that has some records on there that I really, really fuck with. But in the whole body of work, I feel like if that would have been a one disc album, that would have possibly been a classic to me. But yeah, Street's Disciple, it just, man, almost the only album that I can say that I just don't like. I don't like the Nasir project from 2018 when the Kanye put out it was put like Pusha T, Nas, Kid Cudi, and I think Kanye put out a project. It was like a little six project release. The Nas record, I didn't like that one, and I could say that's like the only record that I could just say, yeah, I just don't like this project, like as a whole. Like I said, with Nostradamus, at the time I was mad at it, but going back to it, yeah, I like Nostradamus. It's not as strong as my favorites, but it's like I said, you give it to another rapper, it'll be his best record. And then as far as It Was Written, I like It Was Written. It's like some of the greatest stories on there. His rapping is on point. It's just that Nas, to me, elevated his pen game so much in the 2000s that I just can't say that. From my perspective, I just don't feel like it was it. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't feel like Illmatic is Nas's pinnacle, and he never passed it. You know, it's almost like if you watch football or basketball, watching a player in his rookie season, and he was like rookie of the year, and then just kind of he never topped that year, and it's like I just don't feel like that about Nas. Nas is more like LeBron James. It's like he in year 20, and I'm still on top of this shit. Go pick up King's Disease, uh, King's Disease 2, and Magic. All from 2020 to 2021. It's like Nas is still on top of his game, you know. So, but yeah, man, Nas, great, possibly the greatest pure rapper of all time. My personal opinion, some of the greatest stories. I think if I could take like 5 songs to give you, let's say if you never heard Nas, if I could give you 5 songs to kind of describe everything I like about him, I would go with You Know My Style. I would go with Hold Down the Block. Then I would go with No Ideas Original. Then I would go with what would I put right there? Block. Definitely the Nigger. That's that song from the Untitled record. And for the fifth, I'm gonna come brand new and I'm gonna give you 10 points. Take those 5 records. Let's say if you never heard Nas, take those 5 records and listen to those. Make your little playlist and listen to those because I feel like those kind of describe him close to his totality. He got more other stuff, but I feel like just kind of like if I was to give a little quick way to get into Nas, start with those 5 records. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to if he put out something for 2022 because, like I said, he was rapping on out of the new trilogy. I like King, of course. I like King's Disease, the first one, the best. King's Disease, King Disease 2. He went more experimental, and then when he put out Magic, it's like he's I don't know, man. It's like the dude be forgetting how old he is, or he just wake up and be like, man, look, y'all can't fuck with me on this shit. But yeah, man, that's all I got for this, man. Go check out you some Nas and really sit. And Nas is a rapper you got to sit down with. Not no club shit, not no vibe shit. Sit down and listen to Nas and take in what he's saying. And I heard people say that Nas don't pick good beats. Nas, to me, Nas picks perfect beats. He just don't pick club beats. He picks rapping beats to be rapped to and where you take in what he says. You don't have to do the Tootsie Roll to everything. You don't have to be out here doing the whatever dances you doing. Just they're good listen. They're good palettes for listening. They're not made to be doing the Cupid shuffle too. But that's all I got on this, man. Go bump you some Nas. And shoot, if you a Nas fan, tell me what some of your favorite projects is here in the comments. And if you excited for his next project, if he got one coming. Alright, peace.